Hi, I'm Curtis Cottle, founder and CEO of SBC Financial and certified financial fiduciary. Your credit union has joined with us so that we can provide financial services and investment services to you, the member. And what we want to do is we wanted to introduce ourselves and let you know about our complimentary financial review. But first, before we tell you a little bit about some really good information on what you can do or some of the key hurdles of why people run out of money in retirement, what I want to do is tell you a personal story about a client of mine and why I'm passionate about why I do what I do. So there was a couple and they saved up a lot of years for retirement. They had multiple retirement accounts and a good amount of money. But the problem is they weren't traveling to see their children. They had kids in different states and they weren't sure if they had enough money or not. They weren't sure if they were going to run out. And so should they be spending on travel? And it was really painful to see that. But we put them through our proven process. And after our proven process, they were able to confidently now travel to see their kids. So before we met them, they worried every single day whether they had enough money. That's not any way to live or live in retirement. But after going through our proven process, they had peace of mind and plenty of time with their loved ones and their children being able to travel with them. And so what we're going to do today is you might want to consider stay till the end, because what we're going to do is we're going to cover 3 or 4 really important topics of why people run out of money in retirement or what people are concerned about the most. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start here and talk about a retirement income review. So at any time, you'll have the ability to go in and click the link below and, and go through and get a quiz to see how ready your income could stand up in retirement. How well would it work in down markets? How well would it work in higher tax or inflation? You want to see how everything stands so that you can know what your score is. And so you'll actually get a score. So go ahead and you can click that link now, or you can click that link at any time we go through this here as we cover this important topic matter. So what we'll do is we'll talk now about 2 different stages of your financial life. You have the accumulation stage and the distribution stage. Now, these are kind of what they sound like. Accumulation stage, you're accumulating money, adding to your retirement account during your working years. And then you have the distribution stage where you're stopped working or working a lot less and you're taking income distributions from your retirement accounts. And so these are 2 totally different financial planning strategies and usually totally different financial planning experts. And so the accumulation side, so many financial advisors are accumulation advisors, kind of like many doctors are primary care physicians. So if you had your primary care doctor say, hey, you know what, you need heart surgery, and I'm a really good primary care doctor. In fact, I'm one of the best in the country. I've been doing this for 25 years, but I could probably figure out how to do your heart surgery for you. But that's not how it works in the medical field, is it? They would refer you to a specialist, somebody who does this week in and week out and knows exactly what to do. Now, we are specialists in the distribution stage. This is where we work. When we create good growth potential in a portfolio, it's designed to generate consistent retirement income rather than worrying about all the ups and downs of something like an accumulation stage portfolio. And so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a few other things here. Let's talk about the gap. When you retire, you get close to retirement, there is your Social Security income. If you have a pension income, you've got some of those income streams potentially. But then there's what you actually need and want in retirement to live off of. And so there's this gap that your savings, your retirement accounts, your 401ks, your IRAs, your mutual funds, your Roth accounts, these are all tools that you've built over the years, but how do we put them together so that we have the gap covered, right? There are taxes, there's market risk, there is longevity risk, there's medical costs, there's inflation. So we want to make sure that you have a distribution expert who can properly put those together to fill that gap, to get you what you actually need in retirement, so that you can be like my clients now and have peace of mind in retirement, rather than like they were, where they worried every single day. Peace of mind is the real way to live in retirement, so you can truly enjoy. And one of the biggest risks that we've discovered to running out of money is the sequence of returns risk. So if you might not have heard this term before, if you haven't heard this term, this might be a good reason to click the link below so that you can get a review and see if this affects you. But this is where the order of which the stock market has growth or losses could be a big difference in whether you run out of money or your money lasts. And so the way that it works is, if you have $750,000 and the first several years are growth, you're going to be a lot more on track to make sure your income can last a long time. If you have $750,000 and the stock market drops the first few years of your retirement, when you start to take out income, you might be on a worse track, potentially running out of money. And so this is important. We don't gamble, right? That almost kind of seems like gambling. Well, I hope things hit in the right way. We want to make sure that we keep things more certain, and you set up a plan to address the sequence of returns risk. Because if the market goes down the wrong way and you keep drawing on the portfolio to take it down even further, that isn't good for the portfolio. When the stock market recovers and you're still taking your income, your portfolio might sputter on the way up because you're still taking the income out. So you need to set up things properly. And so a lot of people ask us, well, Curtis, how should we set up our portfolio? One of the biggest things that comes into play here is the foundation of your portfolio. And so there's 3 pillars in a foundation. Pillar 1 is your emergency money. Bank, checking, savings, money market, something that's safe, liquid, and available to use it when you need it. If we can earn an interest rate, that's wonderful, but it's there when we need it. Then, if we go to pillar 2, that's low risk. And for our intents and purposes, we want 0 stock market risk. So this is guaranteed against any market losses. If the market goes down 40%, we won't lose a single percentage. We won't lose a single penny. But the difference between pillar 2 and pillar 1, low risk is going to be a key component in growth. It's going to have growth potential, really good growth potential in that pillar, and something you can rely on for consistent retirement income. And then you have pillar 3, where we don't mind taking a little bit of risk on this money because it's longer term money. We're going to try and get higher growth over time, but it's so important we have everything. And one of the biggest pillars we see missed is the pillar 2. But this is the most important one, because this is where you take your retirement income from. This is where we can take consistent retirement income, and if the market goes down, we're never taking out at a loss. Isn't that powerful? And so this is what you need to understand as it pertains to how you would set up a distribution phase portfolio versus an accumulation phase portfolio. Accumulation phase doesn't really need much besides a risk pillar. They don't really need a full rounded foundation. Whereas in the distribution phase, this is critical to making sure that you have enough money to last you for the rest of your retirement. So I want to let you know what happens is there's a quiz. You'll be able to click below, and it'll tell you how ready your portfolio, your retirement is for the distribution phase, for taking income. And so it's just a few minutes where you click the link. And then when you click the link, you'll answer a few questions that are actually quite enjoyable to go through and enlightening. And then you'll be able to get a score to see how ready your portfolio is for retirement, the distribution phase, and taking income. Will it be able to have a high chance of lasting, or are you at risk of running out of money? And that's important things to know. So you can click that link below, take that quiz, and get your score. When you do that, you'll then have the opportunity, after you get your score, to get on our calendar. You can click the link, get on our calendar, and we'll give you a complimentary review, because you're a credit union member, so you won't have to pay for this review, but you're going to get a full analysis, and you'll see in that appointment on the screen, does your retirement income last, or are you at risk of running out of money? And if you are at risk of running out of money, what are the things that you can do to fix it so that your money can last and you can have peace of mind? But remember, until you click that link and take that assessment, we don't want you to worry about your investments until you meet with us. We want you to have complete confidence and clarity. And so take that. We'll look forward to seeing you when you click that link, and we'll look forward to helping you get that confidence and clarity that you deserve.